Hey, good afternoon. This is Bob from Trade Genius, the 11th of May and Wednesday. And first thing I want to put up is a futures chart that I keep and I trade against when I trade the futures. But I also look at it because it gives me a different perspective on looking at the market. And yesterday I pointed out to everybody that hey, I think there's a head and shoulders pattern forming here. And looking at the chart here is that obviously here's the left shoulder, here's the head, here's the right shoulder forming, and this chart here, this trend line here, this is actually the trend line linking a bunch of lows together from the bottom that we had at the end of February, and then this is the neckline of the head and shoulder pattern. So looking at today, first of all, the market is actually now working the way it should be. Is that Monday was slight up day, and Friday was an up day. This is correct. Monday is a usually down day, but it was up slightly. Tuesday we had a turnaround Tuesday, which just really blasted a lot more than I thought it would. And now looking back on it, I think this was a bull trap, trapping people thinking that hey, we're going to get rolling here, and then turned right around and gave it all back. Now it stopped at a pretty interesting area here. This dot here is the S2, which is the second standard deviation of the pivot, and the pivot is basically a calculation against the range from the day before. And so when people are buying these swings, is a lot of them get in at 2057, and look where it closed at 2059, but it touched 2057. So you got people now that are close to being underwater, have just taken a more of like a passive trade, thinking that hey, I'm going to run this thing up for a couple weeks, and but it may fail early here. If this fails early, is that there's a lot of people are going to dump out of this market. So we're not short yet. I sold calls. I told everybody I was going to sell credit spread, and I'll show you my signal that I did that on. And I did indeed do that today, and they worked out marvelously. I also put on a futures trade yesterday too, 72 and 75. I got out of that on average at 70, and it was just a short-term trade that was for overnight that worked out for me. And now I'm going to watch to see if this trend line breaks. And if it does, then I'm watching this trend line, and then we're going back to trying to fill that gap again. So that's the ES, and before we end, I have a really cool chart to show you. So bear with me here. I'll try to be quick here, but looking at SPY, you can see the head and shoulders here again. I kept talking about the head and shoulder pattern on SPYs right here is the neckline. We're coming back down to the center of gravity on VWAP, and so I don't see any reason why this probably wouldn't go to touch this. I don't think this was a sweep up yesterday and a sweep down today. I think there's still some more work on the downside to go. The intensity never got above 50, which always makes me suspect on a move higher. The lower we have lower highs. Now I'm going to see if we put in a lower low, and we rolled over. And yesterday when I said I had that signal, it confirmed first thing. And first thing this morning I put on a 210, 212 credit spread for next Friday. I didn't do a calendar and I didn't do a ratio. Things are moving too quickly for me, so I just did a regular credit spread. It's already profitable. I'm likely to close it out tomorrow and take my money and run. But that's SPY, and so now we're watching to see what this does when it makes this new low. If it holds a higher low and it turns back up, then hey, we're moving back up. But if not, if it goes down, then I'm still looking at this 199.89 area as an area to be visited. And I will short the market on a lower low. So that's SPY. And then just to finish up, a really cool chart I got, and I want to put a plug out to a site that I hang out with during the day, Slope of Hope. Great blog, great people, great guy that runs it, and he posted this chart at the open, and it's just absolutely incredible and absolutely scary and terrifying. if you own stocks. And so if you look at here, this is the 2001 bubble, this is the 2008 bubble, and this is the 2016 bubble. And the thing to notice here is double bottom, double bottom, double bottom, double bottom, double bottom, double bottom, February low, April, May high, February low, April, May high, February low, April, May high. And now we're looking at to see if this thing rolls back over again, and then it won't hold. There's no such thing as a triple bottom, they say, and it'll break it, and we could go back down and test the lows again. So this is kind of known as the Eiffel Tower pattern. When bubbles break, they don't break a little bit, they break hard, and people get out. And so there's some area to be concerned here, and we're looking at over the next 18 months. So we could be selling off between now and through the election into the following spring and summer. So we'll just see how this goes. You know, I think the central banks have always been thinking that they can just keep driving the yield spread, and as long as the bond yield spread is more attractive than the stock yield spread, or vice versa, I should say, that they're just going to keep bidding stocks. And now that they're going into NIRP, you know, in Europe and in Japan and God knows what China's doing, is that they're just forcing these interest rates. They're negative real yields, and people now are just getting out of the banking system and getting out of the stock market, and it's causing them some grief. They can't create inflation. And it's just so obvious they don't want to do the right thing, which is making sure that labor is getting paid, that they can purchase the products. They can't. Government is dead velocity, and rich people are dead velocity, and so they can't create the velocity to maintain the debt, and it's going to have to get liquidated. And so I just see this bubble is bursting. So anyway, that's my mantra on that. But I think we have more down to go, and so I'll check back with you tomorrow, and I'll probably put some selected stocks up tonight. Thanks. Have a great night. Bye bye.